Hey there, friends. What if I told you? A simple headache could be the first sign of a stroke that might take away your ability to walk or even speak. If you're over 70, this is something you can't afford to ignore because strokes are the leading cause of disability for seniors in the U.S., with over 795,000 cases every year, according to the CDC in 2025. But here's the good news. Knowing just a few hidden signs can help you act fast, and that could save your life. Stick with me for the next few minutes because missing these signs could mean missing your chance to get help in time. Let's dive in together. Today, we're going to explore something that can make a huge difference for you or your loved ones, especially if you're over 70. I'll share 5 hidden signs of a stroke that you absolutely can't ignore. Signs that might seem small, but could be a warning of something much bigger. We'll go through each one together, step by step, so you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's dangerous, and what to do if you notice it. My goal is to help you feel prepared and confident so you can keep enjoying your days, whether that's knitting a scarf, gardening, or just chatting with your grandkids. So, grab a comfy seat and let's get started on this journey to protect your health. Let's dive into the 5 hidden signs of a stroke. And I'll explain each one like we're sitting down for a chat over tea. First up, sign number 1. Sudden numbness or weakness on one side of your body. You might feel your arm suddenly go heavy, like it's not yours anymore. Or maybe your leg feels tingly and you can't stand up without holding on to something. This isn't just a random ache, it's a serious warning. Why is this so dangerous for seniors over 70? A stroke happens when blood flow to your brain gets blocked, or a vessel bursts. That means the part of your brain that controls your arm or leg isn't getting oxygen, and it starts shutting down. For seniors, our blood vessels are more fragile, and conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes, common after 70, make a stroke more likely. The National Stroke Association says, if you don't get help within 3 hours, the damage can be permanent. You might not be able to walk, or even hold a cup again. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 75-year-old from Chicago. One morning, Margaret was knitting a scarf for her granddaughter when she felt her right arm go numb, like it had fallen asleep, but worse. She tried to stand up, but her leg wouldn't move right either. At first, she thought, maybe I'm just tired. But something felt off. She called her daughter, who told her to dial 911 right away. Good thing she did. Doctors confirmed it was a mini stroke, and because she acted fast, they treated it before it turned into something worse. Margaret told me, I'm so glad I didn't wait. I can still knit for my grandkids now. What should you do if this happens to you? Don't wait to see if it goes away. Call 911 immediately, because every second counts. But there's another sign that's just as sneaky. Let's move on to sign number 2, sudden trouble speaking or slurring your words. Have you ever tried to say something, but the words come out all jumbled? Or maybe you can't find the right words at all, like your brain is stuck. This isn't just a senior moment, it could be a stroke. Why is this so dangerous for seniors over 70? A stroke can hit the part of your brain that controls speech, and when that happens, you might not be able to communicate. For seniors, our risk is higher because years of high blood pressure or cholesterol can weaken our blood vessels, making a stroke more likely. The American Heart Association says 1 in 4 stroke survivors over 70 end up with permanent speech problems if they don't get help fast. That could mean not being able to talk to your family anymore. Let me tell you about John, a 72-year-old from Seattle. John was chatting on the phone with his son one day when he suddenly started slurring, like he'd had too much to drink, but he hadn't touched a drop. His son noticed right away and called 911. Doctors confirmed it was a stroke, and because John got to the hospital quickly, they minimized the damage. He had to do speech therapy for a few months, but now he's back to his weekly calls with his son. John told me, I didn't know what was happening. I'm so grateful my son acted fast. What should you do if this happens? Don't brush it off as nothing. Call 911 right away, and if you're with someone who's slurring, get help for them immediately. Now that you know about speech problems, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Sign number 3, Sudden vision problems, like blurry or double vision in one or both eyes. You might be reading a book and suddenly the words look blurry. Or maybe you see two of everything, or lose vision in one eye, like a curtain coming down. This isn't just aging eyes, it's a warning sign. Why is this so dangerous for seniors over 70? A stroke can affect the part of your brain that controls vision, or block blood flow to your optic nerve. For seniors, our risk is higher because of things like diabetes or high cholesterol, which can clog the tiny blood vessels in our eyes. The National Stroke Association says vision problems show up in 20% of stroke cases. If you ignore this, you could lose your sight for good, or the stroke could get worse. Let me tell you about Susan, a 74-year-old from Boston. Susan was watching her favorite TV show one evening when she suddenly couldn't see out of her left eye. It was like someone turned off the lights on that side. She thought, maybe I'm just tired. But it didn't go away. Her husband insisted on calling an ambulance, and it's a good thing he did. Doctors found a small clot in her brain that was causing the vision loss. Because she got help quickly, her sight came back. And she avoided a bigger stroke. Susan told me, I didn't know my eyes could warn me. I'm so glad we acted fast. What should you do if this happens? Don't assume it's nothing. Call 911 right away. Even if you wear glasses, don't think it's just your prescription. But there's another sign that many people miss, and it can lead to dangerous falls. Let's move on to sign number 4, sudden dizziness or loss of balance. You might feel like the room is spinning around you. Or maybe you try to walk and you can't keep your balance, like you're about to fall. This isn't just a dizzy spell, it could be a stroke. Why is this so dangerous for seniors over 70? A stroke can affect the part of your brain that controls balance, like the cerebellum. For seniors, our balance is already weaker because of age, and a stroke makes it even worse. The CDC says dizziness is a sign in 30% of strokes. If you fall because of it, you could break a hip, which might mean months in the hospital, or worse. Let me tell you about Robert, a 71-year-old from Miami. Robert was watering his plants one morning when he suddenly felt dizzy, like the ground was moving. He tried to walk back inside, but he stumbled and had to grab the table to keep from falling. He remembered hearing about stroke signs, so he called 911 right away. Doctors confirmed it was a stroke, and because he acted fast, they treated it before it got worse. Robert told me, I almost ignored it, but I'm so glad I didn't. I can still take care of my plants now. What should you do if this happens? Don't try to walk it off. Sit down and call 911 immediately. If you're with someone who looks unsteady, help them sit and get help right away. Now, let's talk about the last sign, one that might seem like nothing but can be deadly. Sign number 5, a sudden, severe headache that feels different from any headache you've had before. You might feel a sharp, stabbing pain in your head, like someone hit you with a hammer. Or maybe it comes with nausea, or you feel like you might pass out. This isn't just a migraine, it could be a stroke. Why is this so dangerous for seniors over 70? A severe headache can mean a hemorrhagic stroke, where a blood vessel in your brain bursts. For seniors, our blood vessels are more fragile, especially if we've had high blood pressure for years. A burst vessel can cause brain damage in minutes. The American Heart Association says 15% of strokes start with a severe headache. If you don't get help fast, it can be deadly. Let me tell you more about Margaret, the 75-year-old from Chicago I mentioned earlier. A few months after her numbness episode, she had another scare. She was making dinner when she felt a headache so bad, she dropped the spoon she was holding. It wasn't like her usual headaches. This one felt like her head was going to explode. She called 911 right away, and doctors found a small bleed in her brain, a hemorrhagic stroke. Because she acted fast, they stopped the bleeding, and she made a full recovery. Margaret told me, I knew something was wrong. Calling 911 saved my life. Twice. What should you do if this happens? Don't take a painkiller and hope it goes away. Call 911 immediately, especially if the headache comes with nausea or dizziness. Let's take a moment to recap what we've covered today. We talked about 5 hidden signs of a stroke that you can't ignore after 70. First, sudden numbness or weakness on one side of your body, which can mean your brain isn't getting enough blood. Then, trouble speaking or slurring your words, a sign that your speech centers are affected. Next, vision problems, which can warn you of a clot in your brain. After that, dizziness or loss of balance, which can lead to dangerous falls. And finally, a severe headache, which might mean a brain bleed. Knowing these signs can help you act fast. And that can make all the difference. You don't have to live in fear, because now you're prepared. Start by keeping these signs in mind, and if you ever notice one, call 911 right away. You deserve to keep enjoying your golden years, whether that's gardening, knitting, or just relaxing with your loved ones. And here's something simple you can do. The National Stroke Association recommends a free app called Stroke Riskometer. It's easy to download on your phone, and it can help you check your stroke risk in just a few minutes. Why not give it a try this week? You've got this, and I'm here cheering you on. If you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more health tips for seniors. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Have you or someone you know ever noticed one of these signs? What did you do? Let me know. I read every comment, and I'd love to hear from you. Take care, stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.